Hi everyone, it's me Coral. Welcome back to my channel. I've got a TBR here today that also includes my TBR for the Ladies of Horror Fiction Readathon that's going on this month. I believe it's the whole month. It is Ladies in Horror Month, so of course I will be trying to watch as many like Scream Queen movies and reading a good amount of horror featuring women authors and all that kind of stuff. So I just looked it up. The Readathon takes place the whole month of February. So we've got that covered. So there are 5 prompts and they're pretty broad. So if you have women authors on your shelves, I feel like it's pretty easy to fill these up. However, I was really disappointed in the amount of women that I have on my shelves in my horror section. Like, there were not as many as I thought there would be. So I need to remedy that, I guess. First prompt for the readathon is to read a book by an LGBTQIA+ author. And for that, I picked Into the Drowning Deep by Mira. I just dropped this fucking book and busted the cover, so I'm kind of upset at myself for that. And Mira is one of Shauna McGuire's pen names, and she identifies as pansexual. So this is one of my 5-star predictions. I hope I like it. My last one that I read last month was Rust and Stardust, which was a 5-star read. So I feel like this has got a lot to live up to. Just kidding. I will be fair in my rating, but I think I'll really like this. This is like I just choked on my spit. This is about oh my god, also I'm going through puberty. This is about a crew who is going to look into this incident that happened when a mockumentary crew went to make a fake documentary about mermaids. So there's killer mermaids, and it sounds like it's going to be a blast. The next prompt is to read a book by a woman of color, and for that, I picked Hammers on Bone by Cassandra Khaw, and she is Malaysian. This is about a private investigator who's hired by a young boy to kill his stepdad, and I don't really know more than that. I don't want to know more because it's very short. I think there is a sequel to this too, so yeah. I don't know why that matters, but there is. The third prompt is to read a book that has been on your TBR forever, and for this, I picked Gideon Falls Volume 2, Original Sins, and the illustrator for this is a woman. Her name's Andrea Sorrentino. I figured I would throw a graphic novel in here too because she's a woman and it's horror. And she's drawing horror, and I think the illustrations in here are very, how can I say it? Like, they're very eye-catching because of the colors that she uses. So this is, the first volume at least, was about a couple different characters in very different walks of life who have all started seeing this giant black barn, and whenever this barn appears, something bad happens to somebody. So I'm guessing that this is more of that. And I really liked the first volume, so I don't know why I wouldn't like this one. I really, I am not good with book series, with like keeping up with them before I forget about it and then have to read like the previous books over again. And I do the same thing with graphic novels, so I'm trying not to do that. The fourth book is to read a book with a great cover, and I picked one of VC Andrews' books, of course, Virginia Andrews. This is the 3rd book in the Dollenganger series by VC Andrews. The first one is the very infamous Flowers in the Attic. This one, you can, if you find a good copy, not that this isn't a good copy, but you can find copies where there's actual step back art. And this one, it's just on the back. But the reason I picked up my first ever VC Andrews book was because of the cover and because of the step back art. I think it was the first time I had ever seen anything like that. So here is more of her stuff. She was one of my favorite authors, if not my favorite author growing up. And I'm trying to finally finish my reread of the Dollenganger series that has been going on for like 2 years now. I totally meant to read more of them last year and just like absolutely did not. And I'm trying to finish this up so that I can read the next series sometime this summer. So we'll see how this goes. The last prompt is to read a book that is young adult or middle grade. And for this I picked The Girl in the Box by Ouida Sebestyen. This is a YA like thriller about a girl who is taken captive and held in a box. And aside from the Readathon, there's a couple other books that I'd like to get through this month. The first one being The Indifferent Stars Above by Daniel James Brown. This is a non-fiction account of what happened with the Donner Party. After reading The Hunger last month, I really wanted to get into this. I've heard it's very good, so there you have it. I'd also like to read this month Zombie by Joyce Oates. She is also a woman who writes horror. And Zombie, I think, is about kind of a Jeffrey Dahmer-esque character. I think that she took, it's another book. Oh my god, I've read so many of these lately where she took real events and kind of elaborated on them. So I've heard it's gruesome and I want to read it. Next, I have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, and this was kindly loaned to me by my sister-in-law who read it and loved it. So I'm going to read it in a timely manner and not be a trash person. This is about this takes place, I believe, after a post-apocalyptic event. There is a theater troupe who goes to like these little tent cities and performs, and I think that must be like the main character is in one of those or something like that. I don't really know, but I've heard a lot of great things actually from a lot of people. So I wasn't sure if this one would be for me, but I'll see. Next, I have Dexter in the Dark by Jeff Lindsay. This is the third book in his Dexter series, and like I said, I'm trying to be much better about reading series in a timely manner. So yeah, this of course is what was it Showtime? The Showtime show Dexter was based off of. So there's that, but from what I've read of the books so far, I've only read the first two, of course, but they are vastly different than how the TV show has gone. So if you watched the TV show and liked it, I think you could also read these and get something different out of it and have even more enjoyment. Double the Dexter. Dexter doubled because he likes to use alliteration. These have been so much fun so far. I really like how weird Dexter is. He's such a little weirdo. So that's a very cute thing to say about some guy who chops people up. So lastly, I have my TBR jar stars. So let's see what happens here. Oh my god. Pulled a green one. That's horror. I shouldn't be surprised because like a lot of them are, but all right. Oh, I just read this book. The Damned. I don't know if you could read that. It says The Damned by Andrew Piper. I just read that last month, so let's pick a different one. Oh my god, it's another green one. I swear to god, I'm not trying to do that. No One Gets Out Alive. Oh, that's a Adam Neville book. Okay. I'm gonna read the synopsis for this, so if you don't want to hear it, wait till I hold the book back up. When Stephanie moves to a notoriously cheap neighborhood, When Stephanie moves to a notoriously cheap neighborhood of Birmingham, she's happy to find an affordable room for rent that's just large enough not to deserve her previous room's nickname, The Cell. The eccentric, albeit slightly overly friendly landlord, seems nice and welcoming. The ceilings are high and all of the other tenants are also girls. Things aren't great, but they're stable. Or at least that's what she tells herself when she impulsively hands over the money to cover the first month's rent and decides to give it a go. But soon after, she becomes uneasy about her rash decision. She hears things in the night, feels them, things or people who aren't in the light, who couldn't be there because, after all, her door is locked every night and the key is still in the place in the morning. Concern soon turns to terror when the voices she hears and presence she feels each night becomes hostile. It's clear that something very bad has happened in this house, and something even worse is happening right now. Stephanie has to find a way out before whatever is going on in the house finds her first. Okay, cool. I read Last Days by Adam Neville, and I thought it was okay. It felt a little bit long, but I really liked the idea of it. Was very creative, so maybe this will also be extremely creative and original, like Last Days, but maybe it won't feel as long. I don't know. This is still a pretty long book. It's got to be, what? 600 pages. Okay. Why does this seem less... I don't know. Maybe the pages are thinner because I think Last Days was shorter than this. But I don't know how. Alright. I bought it, so I've got to read it. Even if maybe this isn't a month where I really felt like reading it. That's okay, I guess. I'm gonna cry. Just kidding. It won't be that bad. I mean, it won't be bad. It'll be really great. I'm being optimistic. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these, especially if you've read No One Gets Out Alive. Please ease my mind. Is it gonna be 600 pages of just okay? Kind of like Last Days was? I know a lot of people like Last Days. It just felt so dang long. Anyways, like I said, thank you so much. Catch me outside being in the sun. See you guys later.